In a distant part of the galaxy, an old alien spaceship drifted through the dark void of space. Its metallic surface was covered in patches of rust, and its lights flickered weakly. Inside, a group of scared aliens huddled together. They were from a small planet called Viridian, and they had never faced a danger like this before. The universe was changing, and their home was in grave danger. The leader of the aliens, Zorak, paced back and forth. His green skin glimmered under the dim lights of the ship. "We have to find a way to survive! The Varkans are coming, and they won't stop until they take our planet," the other aliens murmured in fear. The Varkans were known for their ruthlessness. They had destroyed countless worlds, leaving nothing but ashes in their wake. Zorak knew that they needed help, and they needed it fast. "Maybe we can send a distress signal," suggested Lyra, a young alien with big blue eyes. "There might be other races out there who can help us." Zorak shook his head. "We don't have time for that. By the time anyone arrives, it will be too late. We need someone who can fight." Just then, Zorak remembered something. Deep in the ship, in a hidden chamber, was a Cryo sleep pod. Inside that pod lay a human pilot, a legendary warrior from long ago. Zorak felt a mix of hope and fear. The humans were known for their bravery, but it had been centuries since they had fought in a war. "We should wake him up," Zorak declared. "He may be our only chance." The crew exchanged worried glances. "But what if he doesn't want to help us?" one alien asked. "What if he doesn't even know how to fight anymore?" Zorak replied, "We have no choice. It's either that or face extinction." With heavy hearts, the aliens made their way to the chamber. The pod was old and covered in dust, but the technology still hummed softly. They gathered around, and Zorak took a deep breath. "On my count, we will activate the pod. Ready?" Zorak asked. 3, 2, 1, now! The aliens pressed the buttons, and the pod hissed open. A bright light flashed, and the human pilot began to stir. Slowly, he opened his eyes, blinking against the brightness. He looked around, confused, and saw the aliens staring at him with a mix of hope and fear. "Where am I?" the pilot asked, his voice rough and deep. "What happened?" Zorak stepped forward, trying to sound calm. "You are aboard our ship. We need your help. Our planet is under attack from the Varkans, and we believe you can save us." The pilot sat up, rubbing his eyes. "Varkans. I remember them. They were ruthless even in my time." He looked at the aliens, seeing their fear and desperation. "But why me?" "Because you are a warrior," Zorak replied. "You have fought battles before, and we have no one else. We need your skills to teach us how to fight." The pilot hesitated. He had been in cryo sleep for so long that the world outside felt strange and unfamiliar. "I'm just one man," he said. "Can I really make a difference?" Zorak's eyes were filled with determination. "You can. You are our only hope. Together we can stand against the Varkans." "We believe in you." After a moment of silence, the pilot nodded. "All right, I will help you. But first, I need to know what I'm dealing with." Zorak explained the situation in detail. He talked about the Varkans' strength, their numbers, and the fear they had instilled in the hearts of many. As he spoke, the pilot's resolve grew stronger. He could feel the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, but he also felt a flicker of hope. As the aliens gathered around him, he realized that this was not just a fight for their planet, it was a fight for survival. The pilot stood up, filled with determination. "Let's get to work. We have a war to prepare for." With that, the unexpected war had begun. The pilot and the aliens were ready to fight for their lives, even if the odds were against them. The human pilot, whose name was Alex, stood in the middle of the alien ship, feeling overwhelmed. He looked around at the aliens, their faces filled with hope and fear. They were counting on him to lead them, but he felt unsure. How could one man help a whole planet? As the ship drifted through space, the crew prepared for battle. Zorak, the alien leader, gathered everyone in the main room. "We need to train. Alex knows how to fight, and we must learn from him." The aliens nodded, eager but anxious. Alex felt their eyes on him, and he took a deep breath. "All right," he said, trying to sound confident. "I'll teach you what I know, but it will take hard work." The aliens looked at each other, unsure of what to expect. They had never trained for war before. Zorak stepped forward. "We trust you, Alex. Show us how humans fight." Alex began with the basics. "First, we need to understand teamwork. In a battle, you can't just fight alone. You have to work together." He explained how humans use tactics, planning their moves carefully before attacking. As they practiced, Alex realized the aliens had unique abilities. Some could move quickly, while others had strong arms that could lift heavy objects. He encouraged them to use these strengths. "You are not just aliens, you are warriors," he told them. "Embrace what makes you different." Day after day, they trained hard. Alex taught them how to use their surroundings to their advantage. They practiced dodging and attacking, learning to think quickly under pressure. The aliens were eager to learn, but it was not easy. Some struggled to keep up, and Alex felt frustrated at times. One day, after a tough training session, an alien named Kira approached him. She had bright orange skin and large, expressive eyes. "Alex, why are you helping us?" she asked, tilting her head. "You don't know us. We are not your kind." Alex paused, thinking about her question. "I guess I just can't stand by and watch others suffer," he replied. "When I woke up, I saw your fear, and I remembered my own world. If I can help you, then I will." Kira smiled, her eyes shining. "Thank you for believing in us. We will make you proud." As the days passed, the aliens grew stronger and more confident. They began to trust Alex, and he started to feel a sense of belonging among them. The ship became a place of laughter and determination, and the crew grew closer as they fought for a common goal. But deep down, Alex still felt the weight of doubt. He had seen war before, and he knew it was brutal. He worried about what would happen when the Varkans arrived. Would his training be enough? Could these aliens really fight alongside him? One evening, as the ship floated in the quiet of space, Zorak found Alex alone in the training room. "You look troubled, my friend," Zorak said, his voice soft but strong. "What is on your mind?" Alex sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I just don't know if we're ready for this. The Varkans are ruthless. What if we fail?" Zorak shook his head. "Failure is not the end. It is a part of learning. You have taught us so much already. We believe in you, and you must believe in us." His words struck a chord in Alex. He realized that he had come to care for these aliens. They were not just strangers anymore, they were his team, his friends. He nodded slowly. "You're right. We have to trust each other. Together we can face anything." As they prepared for the battle ahead, Alex's heart swelled with newfound determination. He was no longer just a pilot, he was their leader. He would fight for their planet and their future, even if it meant facing his own fears. The reluctant hero was ready to embrace his role, knowing that every great battle begins with a single step. The days turned into weeks aboard the alien ship, and the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Alex had taken on the role of a leader, guiding the aliens in their training. Each day brought new challenges, and together they learned to fight not just as individuals, but as a team. In the spacious training room, alien technology surrounded them. Bright lights flashed, and holographic targets floated in the air. Alex stood at the front, demonstrating different fighting techniques. He watched as the aliens followed his movements, their determination shining through their nervousness. "Today we focus on coordination," Alex announced, clapping his hands. "You must learn to work together. When you fight, you must anticipate each other's moves." The aliens gathered in groups, their green, blue, and orange skins contrasting against the bright walls. Alex paired up with Kira, who had shown great promise in their training. "All right, Kira, let's show them how it's done," he said, a grin on his face. As they sparred, Alex felt the thrill of the fight. Kira moved quickly, dodging and weaving with surprising agility. "Good job," Alex cheered, impressed by her speed. "Now try to use your strength to throw me off balance." Kira nodded, her eyes focused. She charged at him, and with a swift motion, she tried to knock him down. Alex was ready, sidestepping her attack and grabbing her wrist to guide her through the movement. "See? Use your momentum. Let it work for you." The other aliens watched closely, eager to learn. One by one, they paired off, practicing the techniques Alex had shown them. Lyra, who was still nervous about fighting, practiced with another alien named Tarek. "Just relax and listen to your body," Tarek said, trying to calm her. Lyra nodded, but still struggled. As she moved, her limbs felt awkward, and she stumbled a few times. Alex noticed her difficulties and approached. "Hey, Lyra, you're doing great. Remember, fighting is not just about strength, it's about balance and control. Let's work on it together." With Alex's guidance, Lyra began to find her rhythm. He taught her how to position her feet and maintain her balance. As they practiced, she began to feel more confident. "Thank you, Alex," she said, smiling. "I didn't think I could do this." After several hours of training, everyone gathered to rest. They sat in a circle, breathing heavily but smiling. Zorak stood up, looking proud. Today we learned so much. I can feel our strength growing. Thank you, Alex, for your patience and guidance. Alex smiled back, but inside he felt a mix of pride and worry. While they were improving, he knew that the Varkans would not wait for them to be ready. The thought weighed heavily on his mind, but he pushed it aside. They needed to focus on their training. As days turned into nights, the training intensified. They practiced hand-to-hand combat, weapon handling, and strategy. Each alien brought something unique to the table. Some were fast, while others were strong. They learned to trust one another, forming a bond that transcended their differences. One afternoon, Alex gathered everyone for a surprise exercise. Today we will have a mock battle, he announced, his voice filled with excitement. I want you to use everything you've learned. Work together and think as a team. The aliens cheered, their spirits lifted. They divided into two groups, each led by Alex and Zorak. The mock battle began, and laughter filled the air as they chased each other through the training room. Alex watched with pride as the aliens coordinated their attacks, using their strengths to outsmart their opponents. Kira and Lyra worked together, one distracting Alex while the other prepared for an attack. Alex laughed, enjoying the friendly competition. Not bad. But you'll have to do better than that, he called out, dodging their moves. As the mock battle continued, the tension and excitement grew. The aliens were learning to fight, not just for themselves, but for each other. They were becoming a team, and Alex felt his heart swell with pride. At the end of the day, they gathered to catch their breath, sweaty and exhilarated. You all did amazing, Alex said, beaming. I'm proud of you. Zorak nodded, his eyes shining. We are ready to face the Varkans thanks to you, Alex. Together, we will protect our home. In that moment, Alex realized they were no longer just a group of scared aliens. They were warriors, united in purpose. He felt a sense of belonging he hadn't felt in a long time. The training had forged a bond between them, and he was ready to stand by their side when the time came to fight. The day of the battle had finally arrived. The ship hung silently in the vastness of space, but inside tension crackled like static electricity. Alex stood in the control room, his heart racing. The time for training was over now. They would face the Varkans. Zorak joined him, his expression serious. We are ready, Alex. Our crew has trained hard. We will not fail. Alex nodded, grateful for Zorak's confidence, but doubt still lingered in his mind. What if their training was not enough? A red light began to blink on the control panel. Incoming ship, shouted Kira, who was monitoring the radar. Alex's stomach dropped. The Varkans had arrived. Prepare for battle, he ordered, feeling the weight of leadership on his shoulders. The aliens sprang into action, each moving to their assigned positions. They had practiced this moment, but now it felt real and terrifying. Zorak, coordinate the shields, Alex instructed. Kira, ready the weapons. The aliens worked quickly, following his commands with determination. They had trained hard for this, and it was time to put their skills to the test. As the Varkan ship drew closer, Alex felt a rush of adrenaline. He glanced at his team, their faces filled with focus and resolve. Remember everything we practiced, he called out. Trust each other, and we will win. The Varkan ship was now visible on the screen. It was dark and menacing, with sharp edges that gleamed in the light. Alex's hands tightened around the controls. Engage the shields, he shouted. The ship glowed with energy as the shields activated, creating a protective barrier around them. Suddenly, the Varkan ship fired its weapons. Bright beams of energy shot toward them, and Alex could see the bolts crackling through space. Evasive maneuvers, he yelled, and the crew sprang into action. The ship veered to the side, dodging the incoming fire. Fire back! Kira shouted, her fingers flying across the controls. The aliens worked together, launching their own weapons at the Varkan ship. Explosions lit up the dark void as shots collided, illuminating the scene with bursts of color. But the Varkans were relentless. Their ship returned fire, and Alex felt the impact as their shots hit the shields. The ship shook violently, and alarms blared. Hold on! Alex shouted, gripping the controls to steady himself. We can't let them breach the shields! Zorak cried, determination in his voice. The aliens worked together, focusing on their defense while Alex plotted their next move. He knew they had to turn the tide before it was too late. Alex, they are targeting our engines, Kira warned. He could see the Varkan ship maneuvering for a better angle, preparing to strike again. We need to take them down now. Let's flank them, Alex decided. Kira, adjust the targeting system. Aim for their engines! Kira nodded, her fingers moving with purpose. Firing now! She announced, and a beam shot from their ship, striking the Varkan vessel. The impact sent shock waves through space. The Varkans responded with fury, firing more shots. This time their aim was true, and the ship jolted again. We're losing power! Kira yelled, panic rising in her voice. Stay focused, Alex shouted back, trying to keep everyone calm. He glanced around, noticing the worried expressions of his crew. We've trained for this. We can do it! Suddenly, the Varkan ship started to veer off course. They're damaged! Zorak exclaimed, his eyes wide. Now is our chance. Keep firing! Alex commanded. The aliens unleashed everything they had left, firing again and again at the Varkan ship. With each hit, the Varkans grew weaker, their movements less coordinated. Then, with one final blast, their ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The crew gasped, staring at the remnants of the enemy ship scattered across space. Alex could hardly believe what had just happened. They had won their first battle. Cheers erupted in the control room. We did it! Kira shouted, her eyes sparkling with excitement. We actually did it! Alex felt a wave of relief wash over him. They had fought together and they had succeeded. Great job, everyone, he said, his voice filled with pride. This victory belongs to all of you. But as the adrenaline faded, Alex knew this was only the beginning. The Varkans would not give up easily. There would be more battles ahead. But for now, they had proven themselves. They were warriors, and they would continue to fight for their home, together. The victory against the Varkans had transformed the crew. They celebrated in the control room, their laughter echoing off the metallic walls. Alex felt a sense of pride swell within him. The aliens had proven themselves in battle, and together they had forged a strong bond. Yet even as they celebrated, Alex knew the war was far from over. After the initial excitement faded, Zorak called everyone to gather. We must not forget that this is just one battle. The Varkans will return, he said, his voice serious. We need to prepare for the next fight. The crew quieted, the reality of their situation settling in. Alex nodded in agreement. We can't let our guard down. We need to keep training and improving our tactics. He looked around at his team, their faces now filled with determination rather than fear. Let's review what worked in our last battle and what didn't, Kira suggested. We can learn from our mistakes and be ready for anything. The crew agreed, and they spent the next few hours analyzing their performance. They discussed strategies, weapon effectiveness, and how to better communicate during the heat of battle. Days turned into weeks, and the crew trained harder than ever. They practiced maneuvers and honed their skills, pushing each other to improve. Each alien brought unique strengths to the team, and they learned to leverage those strengths in their training sessions. One morning, as they gathered for practice, Alex felt a sense of optimism. The ship felt different, alive with energy and hope. Today we'll practice our new tactics, he announced. I want everyone to work together and support each other. They divided into groups, practicing coordinated attacks and defenses. Lyra had become more confident, and now she teamed up with Tarek. I'll distract him and you can go for the takedown, Lyra instructed. Tarek nodded, ready to follow her lead. As the mock battle began, Lyra drew Tarek's attention, moving quickly to evade his grabs. Tarek seized the opportunity and lunged forward, successfully pinning Lyra down in a playful but effective maneuver. Great teamwork! Alex cheered, clapping his hands. The other aliens cheered too, their spirits high. Later that day, Zorak approached Alex with a serious expression. We need to gather intelligence on the Varkans. We cannot be caught off guard again. Alex agreed. Let's send a small team to scout their territory. We need to know what we're up against. They selected a few of the bravest crew members, including Kira and Zorak, to embark on the mission. As they prepared for their journey, Alex felt a pang of worry. Be careful out there, he said. We need you all back safe. With a wave and determined smiles, the team boarded a smaller ship and launched into the stars. Alex watched as they disappeared into the darkness, feeling a mix of pride and anxiety. They were now a united front, ready to take on the universe. While the scouting team was away, Alex led the remaining crew in continued training. Days passed, and he kept everyone focused and motivated. They practiced late into the night, determined to be ready for the next confrontation. Finally, after several long days, Kira and the team returned. They looked weary but exhilarated. We have information! Kira exclaimed as they landed. The Varkans are planning a large attack. They think we're weak after the last battle. The crew gathered around, listening intently. They are mobilizing a fleet, Zorak explained. But they underestimate us. We can use this to our advantage. Alex felt a surge of determination. Then we will strike first. We will show them that we are not afraid. We are ready! Cheers erupted among the crew, their spirits lifted by the prospect of taking the fight to the enemy. As they prepared for their next battle, Alex looked around at his team. They were no longer just a group of frightened aliens and one human. They were a family, united by their shared purpose and bravery. He felt a sense of hope that had not been there before. The crew worked tirelessly, strategizing and preparing their defenses. They had turned their fear into strength, and Alex knew they were ready to face whatever the Varkans threw at them. They had become warriors, and their fight was only just beginning. With a renewed sense of hope, they stood together, ready to defend their home. They knew the coming battle would be tough, but they also knew they were stronger together. The universe may be vast and dangerous, but with each other, they felt invincible. And as they looked to the stars, they felt a promise of victory on the horizon.